Thanks for the heads up about the announcement.
Hi.
They never told me when I could say anything or not. I'm like, oh no,
Hi.
business as usual.
They could.
I gotta know that live.
We are heard. We are definitely heard. Hi guys.
Shit.
Well, we were heard
Hi.
right there at the thank you part. It's fine. It's fine. All is well, guys. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. We've got a new face on part today. It's not Aurora. It's Xanjafar. As Ryu, how's it going, buddy?
It's going.
It's going. Yeah. It definitely is going, man. It's been a little while since we played, and it's okay. But I think we are mostly prepared to kick this back in. I'm not sure where Nick is yet, but I imagine when he gets his internet figured out, he'll be with us. I imagine that he wouldn't miss this. This is kind of like one of his favorite things to do. Cruise day indeed. So, goodness gracious, how have you guys been? What's new? What's kicking?
I'm so tired.
Yeah. How tired are you? And what from?
I'm doing an appreciation month for stream, and I signed up for a bunch of 24-hour streams, which have somehow magically become 18-hour streams. Who knows how that happened?
Because you're a smart man.
But the first one was a 24. We did Last of Us in a single sitting, and I'm still tired.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I'm kind of sorry. I did the whole 24-hour thing for a long time. Not ever again. Not ever again.
It's definitely a fun stream, though, hanging out with people until God knows o'clock in the morning, and then you realize you're standing on a cliff yelling about green orbs that are going to take over the world.
Orb.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did 34 or 35 24-hour streams. I did one every month for like almost 3 years. So, closing that pretty quickly before I was just like, no, I just can't do this anymore. It's not good for my health. And it wasn't.
Well, no, they're not all bad, because I did a 36-hour stream once, and that's where I met Panda, and that set me on a fucking journey.
Yes. Yeah, he's a character. God love him. So what's new with you, D for Donkor?
Lately, not much. Just been back on the road. Went to a Disturbed concert the other day. It was great.
Wait, what concert?
Disturbed.
I'm jealous.
You should be. 3 Days Grace opened.
Dang, my high school experience all in one place.
I know. It was awesome, and they had like a 15 to 30 minute segment where they spoke about depression, suicide, addiction, and all these other things. It was a very real concert, and I was like, because it was also their first time playing at the Madison Square Garden in the entirety of their career, so that was cool. And other than that, we played through Nier Automata for the first time, and
I'm jealous of that too. Well done. To color me green.
The next game we're gonna play is potentially maybe a bad game, but who knows? We'll see.
What game?
It's called Left Alive. We got terrible reviews.
Oh no!
But
oh no!
We're gonna see how it goes. I'm hearing very mixed things. Great story, bad glitches.
I was gonna play it this month, and I did a whole bunch of research on it before it came out, and it looks like an old PSP game.
It doesn't look like that to me, but we're gonna see how it goes.
I hope it works out for you.
Yeah.
Well,
at least you get a good story.
Bunny, thank you for the 5 gift subs. That's huge. That looks like it's Zalira, Sir Chuckles, Sugar Moon Fox, Pilakka 34, not to be confused with Pilakka, and Mr. Incredible. These are officially Bubscribers, and that's another luxury roll. So, being kind today. That was 5 just before a game started, and 5 more now. So I'm going to go ahead and hook you guys up with your second luck reroll. Bam. You got it. What about Ryu? Ryu, this is your first time behind the screen of a tabletop game of mine.
Yeah.
You excited? You scared?
Both, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really prepared. I was just like out in my own world. I don't know. I'm really excited. I've been watching you guys whenever I can, whenever the game is on, and it's been super entertaining. So to get to actually jump in and actually be a sub this week. I don't know. I'm stuck.
It is definitely a little wild. I can say that for sure. It's fun to step in. It's also nice to see that you've been watching too, because I know that I've seen you in chat. I don't know if others have, but I've definitely seen you in chat.
Who's this guy?
Who is this RyutheRed? Right?
Who's these guys?
Ryu is good people. Definitely good people. And we have Misty, Imperialgrrl.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Yes. What's new in your world?
Oh, nothing really. Just sewing some stuff.
Sewing's cool.
Playing some games. I'll teach you anytime.
Oh boy, you might have your hands full on that one.
Oh, don't worry. I have a myriad of machines for you to use.
That's strangely enough not the first time a woman has said that to me. Also,
I am both intrigued and a little bit. So let's move on. So I did. Florida was great. I did all the things.
Yeah.
I won all the medals. They would have given them to me anyway. That's the secret. So I finished all the races and then I get to ride all the rides. So
cool.
And drink all the cider. Oh my god.
How long have you been doing that?
So I ran my first one in 2016. It's a big difference there. Because Disney started doing a Star Wars Dark Side themed half marathon. And I was like, okay, if anything's gonna get me running, it's literally Dark Side Star Wars, like metal. It's a big ass, I'm looking at it right now, it's a big ass metal with Darth Vader on one side and it spins, and on the other side is the Emperor and a Super Star Destroyer.
Wow.
How do you say no to that?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then I didn't train, so it was terrible.
Yeah.
But since then, I've taken like almost an hour off my time. So it's good.
That's incredible. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. What's was there a cause for the running, or? So
actually, Disney picks charities for all of them. This was Children's Miracle Network hospitals. It's not actually a beneficial, like the run benefits, you can donate to it, and it raises awareness and funds for them. But my son, I like this race specifically. It's a princess themed race. But my son has spent time in Children's Miracle Network hospitals, a lot of time, and we've done a lot of extra life streaming in my channel. So I very much enjoy Princess Weekend. Plus, we're all in tiaras, and that's fucking awesome.
You run in tiaras. That's.
Oh yeah, I was Princess Matt, the radar technician, one year for a Star Wars run, but I was Princess Leia on the half, and then I was who was I on Saturday? Oh, Shuri. I was from Black Panther. Mm-hmm. I was on Friday, so with my Panther gloves, it was great.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't do anything nearly as exciting. I mostly slept in, which is cool. I'll take it, because I don't get to do that often. You guys ready for today?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the big pog.
Good. Let's recap the events that happened last time. I imagine that Nick should be jumping in. Like I said, if he gets the internet, he should be jumping in at any point. Yeah. Did I, Christy? I don't remember that. I'm sure you'll remind me. Yeah, I'm sure you'll remind me. Either way, let's recap the events that happened last time we played. Can anybody recall anything?
Let's see. No, I just dropped my phone. We were getting ready to go to the Necropolis. We also met with the Pook.
The Pook, that was his name. Yeah. I wanted to call him the Porg. we negotiated very well our way out of the trouble.
Yes, very well. I threatened to burn his house down.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that was a wild meeting. Where did you have to go to meet him? You were given a destination particularly.
It's never good at quiz time. It's like the brown.
I don't remember the street, but I remember it being in a very secluded area of the town. That's very.
It was in the marketplace, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was somewhere in the marketplace.
The very back portion of the marketplace.
Yeah.
The Viper, the brown Viper.
In a building with no windows.
Mm-hmm. There was no windows. You met with a doorman, which sort of was a bit of a precursor to the events ahead. Was definitely not one of the easier to swallow events, because you wandered into a primary working residence of the Pasha of the area. This figure. What does he do
Drugs.
inside? He does well. Yes,
Lots
he
of
does drugs. That's accurate. But what is his primary role, or if you could deign a title on him, what do you
He's
think
a
you'd say?
mob boss.
The equivalent of, yeah, he is. You know, he's an Egyptian mob boss.
That's a really weird sentence.
Yes, it is. It is a very strange sentence, but he dominates in this area. He focuses particularly in what two trades?
Women and drugs?
Yes, that's exactly it. It's slavery, the abuse of drugs in probably Lower Asp, and he definitely tries to invite people in with his naturally promiscuous nature. Gambling is just kind of a side thing. That's something a little extra. Everybody likes to gamble a little bit. So he's going to capitalize where he can. All right. What was that meeting like? Why did you go to see the Pook?
Because they had Gidok.
Yeah,
we
they did.
need to get Gidok back.
They had Gidok.
But in that meeting, we were also met with Abasi's father, which is great.
He's everywhere. That dude needs to learn to take a day off.
Same though, right? Like, you've been everywhere that he's been. It's almost as if he's expecting and looking for you.
This fucking Donkor is only feeding him information under the table. I know the truth.
Damn it, Donkor. That would be good. But no.
I would have a lot more coin.
Yes, he would. He would have a lot more money, that's for certain. So yes, you met the Pook because you wanted to retrieve Gidok. You went through his halls before you finally met the Pook. Before you finally stumbled into his tent. What was that like? What was that experience?
Don't know. I was under a giant bird. I didn't see any of it.
You were, in fact.
Oh, that's right, because we had to carry her as she was like weighed how much more? Like a lot more? 90 pounds?
200 pounds from her regular 60-pound frame.
Yeah. Yep, she could not walk. She just became she was the
She was a chocobo.
the big bird, yeah.
She was a fat chocobo.
Oh man, yeah. It went well-ish. I think it was honestly as well as it could go, to be honest. It could have resulted in terrible things happening. He was trying to broker a deal. What did he want from you?
Jamara.
Yeah, he did.
That was about it.
He wanted a date with Jamara, but why? Why particularly did he feel like he was justified in his actions?
Mild spit roast of his men.
Yeah. She set them on fire. She burned off their faces and burned one of his carts. That's causation enough for him, which in turn led you here. He was in company of your father, Abasi, and your dad kind of made a big deal about it. He promised lots of money. He declared that you were a traitor, and he tried to basically do what he normally does, which is throw you under the bus.
And he got really, really fucked up for it.
Yeah, he did.
Did he get cut in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was told to sit down, to stop talking, and maybe age or overconfidence brought him down. But it rendered him with a fairly fresh wound from the tip of his, or the top of his nose, the bridge, across under the eye, which probably helped him realize, definitely helped him realize the situation. Now, that in mind, you realize that there's more on the plate in this, because he had mentioned several things. He had talked to you about some of the reasons that you're doing what you're doing. What kind of things did he state that he probably should not know?
He knew that we were working for the
Aspis Consortium.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
He did. He recognized that you were working for the Aspis Consortium, and he sort of explained a little bit more how the lottery worked, so you guys knew that you were actually going to be getting in, but he still doesn't know what you're doing. Meanwhile, this is happening. Pilakka was doing everything in her power to make sure that she got Gidok back. Even going as far as saying, you can have Jamara, you can take her, I'll give you her face. You want her hands? I'll give you her hands. You know, saying all of these bizarre off-the-wall things just to guarantee that Gidok was given back. Mechanically, why? Why did she want Gidok back? Aside from the fact that it's her pet, mechanically, what does that mean?
This is basically her spell book.
Yeah.
Also, Nick is on the way. He just sent me in all caps, fuck me. So I'm not sure if he's coming on to me or if he's finally realized what time it is.
Maybe both. Why not both?
It could be both. Oh, look.
No los dos.
All right. Give me just a second, guys. I'll fix those cameras up.
Hey, I'm like half here.
Yes, you are. Let's turn 5th cam off.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I completely lost track of time. Did not have my phone on me.
It's okay.
Were you guys? Did you guys start for today, or
we're actually in recap right now. We were talking about you trying to broker a deal with the Pook, and how you were offering, like, you can have Jamara. You want the girl? You can take her hands. You want someone's feet? I'll give you those too.
Yeah. Pilakka's she's not really too concerned with the safety of others, and also doesn't necessarily intend on holding her word to the Pook. I don't know if her teammates know that.
Probably not well communicated. I'll pose this question to you, Pilakka. You saw Gidok, but not first without seeing whom carried. Who carried Gidok?
That's we met a member of Pilakka's coven, which she was unaware of the existence of which she was unaware. But not only that, she probably took notice of this person, but intentionally didn't show them any attention.
Yeah, and that, like, out of game. If we wind back out to just like performers alike and what have you, as content creators, that's like a slap in the face. She was like, I'm your coven. I'm one of your prize students. And you were like, I don't know who you are. You don't matter to me.
This is kind of like, I really want to do a reference to the Umbrella Academy, but it's spoilers. So
she was a tier 3 sub, and you didn't even know her name.
Yes. Holy shit, that's so accurate.
But it's super accurate for Blacklight. She was a tier 3 sub, and he didn't know her name because he hasn't been alive in the last month.
Yeah, exactly. Because she disappeared entirely. Yeah.
Now it's too real.
It's very topical.
We're drawing the parallels.
It's just real enough.
It is, yeah. So, yeah, you met with someone from your coven. You didn't even realize you had a coven. You've just been kind of operating tangentially, offering your services for information and for artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, you inspired something much larger than you had originally intended.
And if they're in cahoots with the Pook, might be a little bit darker than intended too, because Pilakka probably has a lot. She's not necessarily evil, but she has a lot of knowledge you don't want in the hands of evil folks.
Definitely. 100%, I agree with that. You got Gidok back. You were given Gidok at one request, that you were given an opportunity to have Jamara alone. Eventually. Once you guys return from the Necropolis. Given that you return from the Necropolis. So this is gonna present some challenge. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. Now, some information. Is this something you needed?
No, I was going to ask if we're ready to touch on what I'm sure you're just touching on.
Yes. Aurora has come to me and basically stated that she wishes the best for the extent of this game, but she had to step away for personal reasons. There's no bad blood, no ill will. She just overcommitted, and she realizes that this is a bit more challenging than she wanted, or what she realized she could honestly handle. So she is stepping away from the game, and in the meantime, Ryu will be joining us until we find another caster to sit in with us. So there's no, like I said, no bad blood, no ill will. There wasn't any kicking or screaming. She was just like, hey, shit's happened, and I'm sorry I can't commit to this for X, Y, and Z. I hope you're not mad. And I'm not. I'm not at all. We're still very early into the tale, so I wanted to let you guys know ahead of time that we will be working on writing her character out. And at times, things might feel a little shoehorned, but I promise things are certainly happening for a reason. And no better time than this, to be honest. So, still go out and see Aurora when she streams live, and support her because she's kick-ass, right? She's incredible.
First thing, meteorite lands on Jamara.
Jesus.
Well, I just assumed you were going to sell her to the Pilakka, but
It might be what's happening. I hope not. I don't want Pilakka to go that dark, but she might.
like, you want the raccoon? Here's the fire lady. Don't talk to me again.
Things hopefully don't go that poorly. I'm fingers crossed. I hope it doesn't come down to meteorite smash.
No.
So, I'm going to give an opportunity here for Ryu to step in, and we're going to explain a little bit about his character. Not all of the tried and true details. Just give us a cliff notes of what you think everybody should know about Xanjafar.
I'm a lush. I'm very. Can I say my alignment, or is that revealing too much?
I think your alignment will speak to the truth when you just start acting.
Okay.
So, tell us what you look like.
I'm. How do I pull up my character sheet?
So go back to journal and load Xanjafar.
Okay, I see it, and then
He's a Virgo. He likes long walks on the beach.
Pina coladas are the best.
I don't know. I'm in my mid-30s. Kind of drank a lot, so I've kind of have a little bit of chub on me, but I'm still small and quick. He's about 5'8". He has gray eyes, a beard, red hair. I know that's pretty much me except for the gray eyes. But I mean, I felt like it fit. He's, I don't know, pretty much into any type of anything that can make him money, or anything that seems is I don't know, challenges.
Seems profitable or is challenging to his character, things of that nature.
Something that's interesting. He gets bored very easily.
This is sort of what your character looks like here. I pulled this up for everybody to take a look. And yeah, it's actually not that far off from Ryu himself. If you guys are watching stream, you can see that right there. That's what he looks like. Definitely shrouded with green robes, has leathers beneath, and it seems as if he carries at his side similar style Kupesh to Abasi, but there is much more finesse built in to his initial build. So it may just be for show, but this is Xanjafar, and today he'll be filling in, and hopefully we can make the most of this. So, is there anything that I might have missed? Did I miss anything at all?
As far as me, or in general?
In general, or you, that you feel like is noteworthy? Anybody can chime in.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
My kid. That's the only other important thing I think happened.
Yes, your children, Abasi. Your children was found in basically the Viper Den, right?
Yep. Being watched over by my dad's bodyguards.
Yes. And man, that was a moment. Certainly not something that you were expecting to happen. But who explained this to you? Did you see them yourself? I thought someone was like...
Yeah, no, I saw them because I stopped to mock the guards on the way by because Dad had got a fresh scar on his face.
Yeah. That's right.
And they weren't allowed to do anything to me because there's too many regular guards in the room. And I didn't have enough time to stop to talk to the kids because it was immediately like, ha, he got fucked up, what the hell?
Yes. Yes, that's accurate. You did see your children before you were ushered out. Now, where are you going? Now that you have Gidok, where are you going?
I believe the goal was to prepare for, I think the next day we were heading into the tomb.
That's today, actually. You guys, you had gotten up early to go see the Pook because the Necropolis opens today, and you were supposed to be given your destination.
And we have the assignment to retrieve magical artifacts. However, the Pook wanted us, I don't know if this was gone over already, the Pook wanted us to find intelligence-enhancing items.
Yes.
That he wanted us to conveniently forget about for the other people and bring to him instead.
What are you looking for the Aspis? Just to kind of touch back upon that.
Battle strategy.
We're looking for like a battle strategy for like the for a potential war of sorts.
Very good. You guys are on it then. It sounds like you have everything that you need to know. So, I am going to set your scene, and we're going to move right into the ceremony. You know where the Necropolis is. You've seen it your entire life here if you've stayed. Neferani, this has been a regular occurrence for you. Donkor, the walls are so large that they can be seen from outside of the city. Xanjafar, you've come and gone, but you're aware of the Necropolis. There is a lot of history that lurks here. The dead lurk behind these walls, and the history of the people previous to this time. A plague of madness was left to wring out the people. Now, Pilakka and Abasi, you are new to this time, or this area, but you quickly glean as much information as you can. And to children, it's a place filled with boogeymen and horrors. To the adults, it's a place that they hope that it could remain sealed for very obvious reasons. They wish no ill will upon the dead, and they want the support of Pharasma. So here we go. Neferani, Pilakka, Abasi, and Donkor, along with Gidok and Jamara. You make your moves in the destination of the Necropolis. The people have moved in droves. It's a literal sea of heads and arms and shoulders that stand waiting at the Necropolis doors. The bustling desert city of Wati, bursting with excitement. Adventurers from every corner of the Inner Sea region have assembled here beneath the hot Osirian sun to explore the tombs of the city's necropolis, waiting only to be assigned their first sites for exploration. Surrounding the participants, the public has gathered to observe the ceremony as well. A festival-like quality fills the air. Numerous street vendors hawking goods and refreshments to participants and spectators alike. Some merchants have even brought what can only be considered adventuring gear to sell as last-minute convenience items to explorers, while others advertise that they'll buy recovered treasures and antiquities from those who visit their establishments. In front of the imposing edifice of the Grand Mausoleum, an immense awning has been erected between decorated pillars and the market to provide shade for the priests of Pharasma overseeing the lottery. Beneath the awning, 2 urns sit atop a table, elevated a few feet above the ground. on a wooden stage, constructed for the event. The High Priestess of the Grand Mausoleum, as all of you know, Seti the Crocodile, sits behind the table, while 2 acolytes confer at either side. Can I get perceptions, please, from everyone here, not Xanjafar?
I thought,
I'm on
thought you
cloud
were a
9 today.
perceptive one.
Yeah, I'm on cloud 9 today.
Okay.
Could have gone better.
Donkor, you are just enamored at the sight. You see so many people here, and it's just overwhelming. You wish the markets had looked this way before. You wish that it had been as booming elsewhere for you previous to this. Maybe you wouldn't have found yourself wound up in this situation. Neferani and Pilakka, it's not so terrible, but you find it hard to stay above the crowd. Remember, the 2 of you are shorter than the others. Abasi, similar situation, but Abasi has trained himself for years to watch particular crowds, maybe for particular people that seek him, or for the protection of his own hide. And boy, is it almost in the fire at this point. Abasi, as you're watching, looking around, trying to assume yourself as protected, as defensible, you could quickly glean back over your shoulder, and you see Donkor, just enamored at the crowds. Neferani and Pilakka trying to fight against the waves of people that are assuredly pushing into them. But you don't see Jamara. You don't see Jamara at all. She was right there. People make a hell of a lot of commotion when she is there. But you don't see her.
Oi, Donkor! Where's the woman that makes of the fire?
You mean Shamara? She stepped away for a minute. I thought she'd be right back.
How did we manage to lose her at the most important time? We got to get in the Necropolis. It's probably safer than the city at this point.
I mean, you might be right. Neferani, do you have any idea where she went?
No, did she? How do we lose a fire lady?
One of the most beautiful ones in that.
What?
What?
Neferani, Abasi, give me a perception, please. A new one. Very good. You can both see as Donkor turns to look out at the audience to see if there's anyone out there that matches the description of Jamara. You can see that his bag was opened without his knowledge. It appears that it's loosened at the top.
This is just bloody peachy. You've lost the one woman in the city who could be our bargaining chip to not end up on the Pook's spit roast, and you've gone yourself robbed.
Well, I'm sure she'll be right back. I mean, maybe she needed something else.
Well, the only thing I could imagine, it doesn't look like they've reached the bottom of my bag. I'm not sure what they took, but...
Donkor, do you amble through your bag to see what might be missing?
Yes.
Okay. As you begin kind of pushing your belongings around to see what might be down there, you find that there is something you hadn't quite anticipated. There is a locket of hair. It's probably about 150, 200 strands thick. It's not enough that would make you think that someone had been scalped, but it's a beautiful, fiery hair that has been bound up in a way that it won't fall apart. That wasn't there previously, and you've seen this hair. This is Jamara's hair.
Well, I'm gonna have to fear the worst here. Looking through my bag, I found this this hair. This is the
But
word I'm looking
Magram's
for.
balls, man. How is it exactly that we lose her at the most important time, and now they put her... Does this Pook own wizards?
Neferani, you note when he pulls this out, this locket of hair, and whatever seems to be binding it, you can see that there is something that shimmers briefly. The others do not clearly see this, but whatever it is holding it together.
What is that? Do you guys see that? What?
Are you going to use that hair?
Wait,
she's missing. Calm down.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, hold on. I didn't. It's not on my sheet. Didn't I take Detect Magic?
Yes, you did. You did take Detect Magic. We'll put that on your character sheet in just a moment. It's one of those things that when you trigger it, it's almost autonomous in the situation that it just happens. Your eyes just pan over this silvery gray, and you can see in the arcane spectrum. And where you're at, in this sea of people, you can see various things that kind of reach out to the arcane spectrum. You can see instruments and items, various weapons, armors, necklaces, that kind of thing, just kind of radiate magic. There are people here that have artifacts or familial equipment that's stuck with them for generations that have been blessed and or cursed. And you can see that clearly. But here, there is no magic.
Is there... So I wouldn't know why it's shimmering. It's just...
It shimmered when he kind of held it up, like the sun had just caught it briefly.
Okay.
The others did not see this.
All right. Who has it again? Is it Donkor?
Yes.
Yeah, I have it.
Donkor, can you turn it? I know, weird. Turn it again, like in the sun. So
like this.
Yes, like that.
When you begin to turn it, you see the hair kind of rotate as well, and there is actually something golden inside of this locket of hair.
Now, well, would you look at that? How'd you see that before I did? I guess. All right.
Neferani smiles appropriately so.
I'm at a loss. This is definitely Jamara's hair. Do you possibly know what this might be? This golden thing.
Do you unbind it, or do you continue just waiting to see if anybody says anything?
Just waiting.
So it's actually something in there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the locket.
Okay, then
It's
I'm
in the
just
locket
going
of
to
hair.
reach for it. If no one else is like, I'll
Sure.
just kind of...
Okay. Yeah, and sure enough, you find yourself trying to figure out what it is that's kind of binding it together. It's a little adhesive, right? Like, it doesn't really feel like it's been clasped. When you start moving your finger about, you see that there is some small, almost machined or handcrafted gold rod in the center that has a heavy bottom. And at the top of it, there is wax that adheses the hair to it. Do you peel the hair away from this to kind of see what it is entirely?
Oh yeah, I'm at this point, I'm just kind of like, what is this?
Sure. As you break the hair away, do you clasp onto it, or you just kind of like let it fly in the wind?
The hair? I'm probably like, as I peel it off, like sending it Pilakka's way, like, I don't need this anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, Pilakka's just sitting there with a handout collecting.
Okay, Pilakka, you can add as a reagent.
No, I've seen witches
Ifrit's hair.
before find lost cats with a little bit of cat hair around when they came to visit the Necropolis. Do you think, can you find her with that? Do we even have time? Oh, these bloody people.
There's probably a lot of things that Pilakka could probably do right now.
Neferani, when you begin to investigate whatever this item is and you break away all of the wax, you see that there is a stylized S. It seems to be written in ancient Osirian, where what could attribute to be a place for you to place your index and your thumb to kind of hold on to it. And on the bottom, you see a little bit more wax that has been pressed into this, but then as you break it away, you see that it has the emblem of a scarab. It's the same scarab that Abasi has on himself, and Abasi's father has on him. It is the familial seal of family scarab hide.
I think I've seen that before.
I'm just gonna, since I'm still holding it, I'm just kind of turn it to the side and look at him and just be like,
Oh, that He is a fat old waste of space. The man's a windbag with a face scar. There's no way in hell he chased us down, kidnapped the loudest woman I've ever met, and somehow ghosted away without any of us seeing a thing.
Well, she did say that she was going to walk away for a moment, so it could have been then. But to get into my bag, that's something new.
Do you think she put it in there?
I doubt it.
The Pook may have some skilled cohorts. Your father works with him, no?
Realistically, if he were the Pook, why would he be dumb enough or brilliant enough to let us know that he took her?
Well, and he seemed to want... Now, pardon my assumption on the man here, but he can't look like he wanted it to be on the up and up. He looks to have a contract about him where you can't really get the high ground on the man. Straight kidnapping after all that bullshit. Doesn't really make much sense.
Can I continue to investigate, see if it open, is there any note? Is there any way to?
No, this is meant to send a message. This is a waxen seal. If you were to seal parchment or even an envelope, it's just meant to send a message that I have your woman of fire. What you do with that information is up to you.
Well, I don't know if we have enough time to go find her, but it's up to you guys.
How could we not?
We know where she is.
I do suppose we should collect and find her before something terrible happens. I still have a feeling she will come in to play somehow.
Pilakka, can you use her hair and find her?
Yes, of course, but not in a large crowd. It could be smelly.
Do we really care about the smelly?
No, but I also would prefer no one to tread through my spell circles.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Is there anywhere that looks like... Can I look around and see if there's anywhere that looks like...
Oh, wait a minute. All right. We don't know that she's in any real danger, but I do know that if we fudge the Aspis Consortium and don't show up to the Necropolis, we might be in a lot more danger than any of the Pook can throw around.
And how much danger will we be in arriving in the Necropolis, one person short?
Well, I mean, it's just...
And she's our friend.
Disturbing the dead never goes unpunished.
Yeah,
You know this.
Going to be handed out here really shortly. Look, how many bloody people are here today?
Enough to cause quite a ruckus, from what I can tell.
Do you think that we could leave a note for her? Can Goddark? Oh my god, I always say his name wrong. Can the raccoon leave a note for her in the room?
What would you like him to write? Sorry you were kidnapped?
I'm glad someone said it, because if he didn't, I would have.
I mean, that's fair.
Sorry you were kidnapped.
It's not. I mean, it's kind of fire embodied. And I mean, she did light a bunch of stuff on fire. I don't know. I think she's probably the best person out of all of us to get kidnapped to probably make it out. Because
aside from the practical implications, I've seen her in the brew more than once now. I am interested to see what these portents alluded to.
All right, first of all, this is the first we've heard of that, and second of all, why didn't you tell us sooner?
There are many things I know that I will not tell you.
You literally can't squeeze information out of the windbag, and I should know. I was buried under her for hours.
Squeeze all you like. The information will bury you.
Yeah, much like a Hamlet, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
That's probably for the best at this point in time.
I don't either. I just want our friend back. But I don't... I also don't want to die when the Aspis... If we don't go into the Necropolis, I believe that's probably our next stop. And I don't want my first adventure to be ending in death. So soon, at least. I want to at least get in the necropolis before we meet our fiery doom. But
Well, no, I mean, I don't want to be. Wait, I don't want anyone to be planning for death. That's not well. I mean, besides me, but I don't want the rest of you to be like, I'll die before we're done. Yeah, no, wait a minute.
While Abasi is talking, Pilakka wants to start scanning for a secluded-ish alleyway where she can start spreading out things where there's little foot traffic.
Oh, that there isn't. This is one of the greatest days in the history of Wati. You're talking hundreds of years of this wall erected, keeping out the past, and now people have literally crawled from all over Golarion and the Osirian Desert to see what is regarded as the largest, most untapped necropolis in the history of the land.
So I'm trying to piss in an alley at the Mummers Parade. I got you.
Yeah. Good luck. Right. You're gonna have a lot of people bumping into you. So as far as your fear of the smelly is gonna be smelled. Yeah. Now it's taken you guys about 20-25 minutes to get here from the Pooks, largely because that was a deserted area, right? The market is not busy at this time. Wati is bumping. It's heads, right? It's like at the most popular concert you could ever even imagine. People are here expecting something more.
Oh shit, Disturbed in 3 Days Grace?
Nickelback?
Yeah.
Oh no! Weird Al?
Yes.
Nickelback? All right, I'm done. Bye.
Right. Nickelback with opening act Smash Mouth.
I will avoid this. This will not happen again. No! So, back on top here.
Coming, dude.
There's just so many people. It took you guys this long to get here at this point. You realize that trying to find a haven or a location that you could invest in your spell, you're going to have to go into a building fairly far away from here. Even the Tooth and Hookah is overwhelmed at this point.
Wait, we do have a room.
It's true. You do. So with the 20 to 25 minutes that have passed, you're here talking about what you should do regarding Jamara. And how long do you wait? Do you wait for the commencement, finally? Or do you just kind of stand around? What are you thinking?
I think depending on accessibility, if it's like kind of easy for Pilakka to slip the crowd and start heading back towards the Tooth and Hookah, or anywhere really where she can find some seclusion to do her spells, she might do that. If things are too pressed and she's kind of trapped, probably just wait for the commencement.
Okay, you
at least for me.
You definitely feel trapped. It's the cage of sorts. It's just a very different kind of cage. So we're gonna step over briefly to Xanjafar. You were contacted not long from this point. You realize that the early bird gets the worm when it comes to certain organizations, that capitalize on gambling scenarios. You need particular night owls to stay away. With as many people that are in town, you could make a quick buck or two. When you are met with a bit of a copper pence and a letter. You don't know the figure. They pass it off to you, and then they leave. It's been sealed. You recognize the seal. You recognize the seal because it's not something that you see all too often, and the way that they handle things is less than savory, Xanjafar. It's the seal of the Aspis Consortium. Do you open the seal? Do you break the seal and read your letter?
Xanjafar kind of sighs because he knows what this means. So he opens it, but he opens it really carefully to make sure that it's not torn or anything.
Sure. Okay. You don't... You handle this in a way that you move gingerly. You just break the seal enough that you can open this delicately so, and it reveals that there are instructions. It says the favor is being called back. Something has happened to one of our agents. And there are drawings. There are 4 depictions of characters that seem to not really look natural to the area. One of them you may have seen in passing, but the others most definitely not. One of which is a catfolk woman. She seems fairly delicate, but happy, and even in the drawing in this picture of her. One of which is fairly gaunt and bizarre-looking bird woman. And there's also a pommet. Your instructions dictate that you must seek them out and aid in the success of their endeavor. You will be rewarded, but if you fail, it might mean something far worse. You've received this at early morning, and you are told to meet at commencement ceremony. By the time you've received this letter, you believe that the commencement ceremony has already begun. Now, you're not far from the Necropolis walls or where the commencement ceremony is going to be held. What do, Ryu? Do you gather your belongings and immediately head out? Do you finish this round of cards? What do you find yourself doing?
So I pretty much know what the deal is and what this means. I do finish my game of cards and collect my winnings as fast as I can, but not too abruptly to draw attention to people, because I don't want people to know, kind of what's going on or really look at me at all, because I want to, get my shit together and get on the road.
Okay.
You said it was early morning when I received the letter, right? Or the message, the note, correct?
Yes. At this point, you can tell that it was written early morning. The ink is far past dried. The seal is not warm anymore. This was written far earlier than this, and it was delivered at high hour during commencement.
Okay. So I've gathered my things. I've collected my winnings from the place I was gambling at, and then I guess I'll leave the through the back entrance so that as little attention is drawn to me, and then I guess I'll head towards the event,
Sure.
the place of the event.
Sure. You're going to head to the gates of the Necropolis, then, where the commencement ceremony is going to be held.
Right.
You already have 4 profile images of the people that you're looking for, so you kind of have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know what the situation is like. You just know that you have to succeed in aiding their situation. Will you... What does this letter mean? Does this mean to you specifically that you could just shirk this off, or do you feel like their threat is honest, that it's true? Something worse might happen.
Just because, well, I mean, normally if people are serious, they don't write letters and then seal it first thing in the morning.
Okay.
So I do take it seriously. I know that it is pressed for time, but again, I kind of stroll to the place at my own leisure, and but I do take it seriously. I do know that I have shit to do. It's kind of like your mom will fucking kill you if you don't get the shit done by a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do it your own pace because you're your own.
Sure.
You're your own.
You feel like you have a point to make of sorts.
Right.
Okay. Seems good. The closer you get to the Necropolis, you'll see that the amount of people shift in a way that you can clearly see it's no longer just a casual striding, right? It is the river that moves into this fort of sorts, where there are hundreds, nay thousands of people that are waiting to find out what's going to be happening. The ceremony is to be held by the temple of Pharasma and Seti the crocodile. Seti is the high priestess of the Church of Pharasma, and she has great power in the city. Some would say that if she willed newborn babes to be slaughtered in Pharasma's name, that it would probably happen and to be enforced by the pharaoh himself. She's big business. And she sits atop a stage. Can I get a perception from you, please?
Yeah. Let me find it. I bring up my character sheet and then click perception.
Yep.
Correct. Speed, melee. Where's that under? I'm sorry.
Right-hand side on your skills, and it's in alphabetical order, so perception should be right.
Okay, it was. I had to pull it down
Yep.
or whatever.
Okay, yeah, you were stuck. The swelling of people here is it's a little breathtaking. You haven't seen this many people together in a long time, and to find these 4 figures in this lot, it's unrealistic.
Right.
It's very, very unrealistic. What do you do to increase your chances of success here? Do you start climbing a building looking for people? Do you begin calling out to Bird Lady and Dwarf Man? What do you think?
Hey, Bird Lady.
It might work.
I mean,
What?
I don't know. I think I would probably climb atop something. Maybe go to like one of the vendor stalls and try to almost climb up like Aladdin without care. Like, just walk past them. They look at me like, who is this guy climbing up on random shit? But eventually I just climb up so fast that people are like, whatever. And then I guess I try to find a vantage point from atop one of the vendor. Like
let's see what you can actually get here. Give me a climb check.
Okay. That is. That would be strength, right?
No, it's climb. It's inside of your skills, so just go.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's not good either. That's not super good. You're struggling. Like, you can't seem to find a foothold. The mud brick walls themselves are relatively smooth, and you just can't seem to get a grasp. There's not like gutters or eaves that you can grab onto. What do you think you would try to do here?
Since I already embarrassed myself trying to climb up top one of the vendor stalls, I guess I would just wander around the outside. If there is, like how there's a dense crowd, I guess I would just try to go around the outside and I guess step by step look for something that would catch my attention.
Sure.
Because each of these characters are, from what I can tell, very distinct.
Yeah, they're pretty distinct, but you can see that this crowd is not shy of strange-looking people.
Okay.
You know what this means, or at least you should have a good idea that opening up the Necropolis and legitimately making it legal for people to step in and grave rob is incredibly profitable. It's dangerous, very dangerous, but incredibly profitable. People could stumble on artifacts from hundreds of years prior, and that could... A single successful, maybe if you found like a previous pharaoh's wand or perhaps a crown even, you could buy out a city like Wati.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very profitable. Okay, you're going to spend some time looking for your crowd, looking for your group of 4. I'm going to pass this back to my group of 4.
Okay.
You've waited now 15, 20 minutes, and the people are starting to grow antsy. There is an energy that seems to live in this crowd. It moves like a serpent. It starts near the front and it moves to the back. where everybody just kind of passes the rumor back and forth of what they could be waiting on and what it could mean. It is about this time that a gong rings loudly against the necropolis walls, dropping people's sounds. It seems to nullify their voices, bringing it down to just breaths. Seti stands atop the edifice. Her acolytes sidle next to her. And she rises to the front to engage in the crowd. When she begins to speak, her acolytes begin to push forward a motion of sorts. Pilakka, you're aware that this is some sort of spell. Do you have a spellcraft, Pilakka?
Oh, of course. Let me get that.
Could I can I try in that too?
Yeah, if you have spellcraft, by all means, go for it. Anybody with spellcraft can at this time. Donkor, Abasi.
That witch is mailing it in.
Yeah, Donkor, Abasi, you guys can clearly tell that this is some sort of. Let's see if this is going to give me a listing or give me a ruling on this. And it is from the School of Evocation. They seem to move their hands in a way that makes it look like they're casting a cone, like a conal effect. But when they do so, nothing visibly happens. However, when Seti begins to speak, the sound just, it pours out over the crowd, like you're right there. Like you're right next to her speaking. And as this happens, she stands, lowering her hands. She calls for silence, and she begins with the invocation to the Lady of Graves. She discusses the founding of the Necropolis and its history. She tells you of the Plague of Madness, the events that transpired, bringing about its end. She tells you how many years ago that this had happened. About the warping of Wati's destiny and a rogue cult. How they destroyed the thriving populace. How this Plague of Madness wiped out many, and those that were able to escape were never the same. This plague had run its course. Livelihoods collapsed. Wati's once exclusive trade routes were crushed. She even speaks of the undead. After she finishes, she takes another breath, and she expresses, "The lottery will now begin. Although many of you have requested specific sites to explore, we must leave these matters to fate. The Lady of Graves is a far better judge of destiny than we of this mortal sphere. The gates of the Necropolis will now open. You have been given the time to prepare yourselves for the task ahead. The rules that will guide you in your endeavors in this holy place. Remember how this has come to pass. Every slave's hut is a memorial, and honor the departed. May you go with the lady's blessings." And as she says this, everybody starts kind of discussing this. Almost some of them seem to say it along with her about how you need to remember how this came to pass. And every slave's hut is a memorial, and how honor is given to the departed. These are tenets of the Grand Mausoleum. Does anyone here have knowledge religion?
Yes.
Go for it. Give it to me if you can. Okay, let's see what we got. That's really, really good, actually. You're going to get enough out of this. You are aware of Pharasma's tenets. It's widely discussed, right? Like everybody, if you're aware of Pharasma, you know how she operates. Okay? This is no secret. So those rules. Remember how this came to pass. The plague of madness was unleashed upon the city of Wati while religious authorities were engaged in infighting. This rule is a reminder that Necropolis remains a holy place, and those who engage in needless conflict and banditry are not only criminals, but they are the accursed. Every slave's hut is a memorial. Every structure within the Necropolis is a testament to the people who lived and died in the city. Explorers are urged to not desecrate or vandalize standing structures and tombs, but preserve them as the memorials they were intended to be. Some structures may be trapped or decrepit, but willful and unnecessary destruction is not tolerated under Pharasma's eyes. And last, but most importantly, not the least, honor the departed. The dead should be treated with dignity and respect. If the interred need to be disturbed to recover an antiquity or relic, they should be returned to their resting places very carefully. It is understood that the ancient dead are often brittle, but there is no need for the contents of a sarcophagus to be summarily dumped on the ground. This rule, of course, does not apply to the undead or other abominations. But as such, if you follow in the tread of Seti's advice, of her goals and her rules, you will abide by them. Now, it's very clear, Abasi, that none of the others are aware of this. You can see it on their faces as they're not mentioning this, and they kind of look sort of awestruck.
Doesn't Donkor know all of this?
Oh, yes, actually, sorry, forgive me. Donkor would. Yeah, you would know these tenets as well. You explained to Neferani and Pilakka.
Yeah, because this would be something very important to Abasi as an individual, because it's what he did for his life up until now.
Okay.
Was to take care of the dead.
All right. So then have at the. I'm going to go ahead and set the tone and allow you guys to do that. All right.
The corpse attacked me first. I swear it was undead. I swear.
I'm sure that'll work.
There is wisdom in not disturbing the dead. A majority of necromantic happenings are a accidental or natural occurrence, rather than the typical necromantic wizard.
Not going to be anything accidental about this. Bunch of bloody yuppies are going to run up in the tomb, and they're going to get accursed. They're going to get regular accursed, and they're going to get dead.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get cursed today.
I would like not to be cursed, please.
Just it's really easy. You just respect the dead. It's not that hard. They can't exactly tell you whether you did a good job or not. Just don't break their shit and shatter their bones.
Luckily, we have an expert of the dead around these parts.
I'm still looking, actually.
Pilakka,
Take a view in your dreams.
I misunderstood that.
As you talk amongst yourselves, discussing the tenets of Pharasman law and what these rules actually mean, it is about this time that you hear that the woman, Seti the crocodile, she begins calling out names. Various people begin moving their way through the crowd, and when they begin to move, the crowd parts, allowing them the opportunity to move freely so. 4 or 5 names in, Neferani, your name is called.
She just smiles at the air.
That's us!
Yay!
Yay!
You
And
break the silence by
Oh,
putting up your arm and saying that.
So that's right. It's silent. I had assumed the hubbub might have like as the people going forward, but if it's silent, yeah, no, I'm not that crazy.
Oh, that would have been too good.
There might be like a light.
Read the crowd.
I like that opportunity. If you're like that,
right? Like
Xanjafar, give me a perception.
That's your moment.
Maybe?
Very good. Very good.
Finally.
You were standing in a place where you've just been given basically the equivalent of a head up over the audience, and you're watching before finally you see a single darkened arm rise above the crowd and ears kind of bob briefly. They're no more than 60 or so feet away from you. You hear this, ah! And then the crowd parts, and Neferani begins to step. You look back down at your document that you've been given, your directions, your instructions, and she fits the bill. This looks like one of your targets.
Okay. I guess I would just approach closer. I wouldn't go up and approach her directly because I still kind of want to hang back and see how the group operates as a whole.
Sure. Xanjafar, you can see as well that it stems to a point where it reaches like that river's end, and that's where you can see Abasi and Donkor and Pilakka, the other faces in your instructions.
It's worth noting I look like an old woman, not an old crow woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you're disguised, correct?
Yes.
Right. Pilakka has a disguise that she uses 2 hours per day currently of an old human woman.
Okay. But I'm under the impression that I know that it's her, correct?
You may not necessarily know that it's her, but that's definitely the dwarf, and 100%, without a doubt, the same bald Garundi man that you know you're after.
Okay. So I know that the majority of them are there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, their names aren't called yet, correct?
No. In fact, you note that only one person moves up from each of these areas. When they create a bit of a finger opening, right, like a fingerlet, they seem to move up this row all the way up to the front of the edifice. They're called upon the steps by the church, and it's only a single individual per each group.
Okay, so it's like a representative or they're a supposed team captain of each group. I guess I kind of wait for the ceremony to be over because I want to see what everything's about, and then kind of what's going on, and like with them right now, because I don't want to jump into a party and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm here to party.
Sure, no, that makes sense. I
kind of want to assess their demeanor and stuff like that.
You gotta slowly make your way across the dance floor and see what's going on.
Right. You kind of want to peep out the room.
Yeah, you can't go right to the middle.
See with nice butts, you know.
Yeah, feel them out, see if you can work your way into the dance circle.
Right.
Okay. All right. You do that. You do just that. You watch. You kind of wait and see what the situation is going to be like. After 4 or 5 more names, and them moving to the front of the crowd, ascending to the edifice, Seti finishes calling names. And she returns to her location where she sat. The acolytes, however, stop their consistent spells, and it seems as if they begin drawing forth 2 large funerary urns. They begin opening their hands. They step to the first man, and they collect what looks to be a token. And then to the next man, a token. To the woman, a token. Neferani, you can see that these are the same tokens that were given to you from the bank distributor. Do you give to him your token?
Yeah. If everyone else is, I'm just gonna follow along. If other people are doing that, I'm just gonna.
If they all jumped off a bridge, would you do
Well,
it?
can you imagine where she's just like, no.
I am just like, this is must be what you do.
I'm keeping my coin. You can't have it.
Right? No. Yes.
Just smacks him. Hell no.
Right, like-
It's mine.
No.
They take your coin, your wooden token, and they pass on to the next person, collecting all of theirs before dropping them into a large funerary urn. It's essentially like a bingo of sorts. This is where the lottery comes in. And after a few moments, Seti begins drawing them out and placing them in order. And you find that yours comes up second, Neferani. Your token comes up second. You're not really sure what this means as of yet, but you do find that whatever it means, it's coming soon. It doesn't take long before they're all laid out in a row. And then each person is instructed to assign themselves in that row, in that order, and take their token to place back into the second urn where your location is depicted individually. Neferani, when they bring the urn by you, you note that the top of it has been opened. It looks more like a large trophy of sorts, like sort of like the what is that large, like, prestigious hockey trophy? I can't remember.
The Stanley Cup?
Yes, thank you. The Stanley Cup. The inside is decorated this rich gold, and it seems to have these very odd pockets. You see that there are words or names scrivened on the inside of this. Give me a perception. Okay.
How many luck rerolls do I have? 2?
You have 2, yeah. You have 2.
Let's try. Let's use one.
Okay, go for it.
That's better.
That is better, yeah. You quickly see that as you begin to place yours in, that it seems to note names. There are particular places that are listed inside of this. And the ring, in Osirian, it seems to be scrivened Necropolis, that it keeps discussing of the original location that was Wati. You can see that there is various street names, that there might be tombs, a cenotaph. You see that there's also various houses of prestigious families, but you don't really catch many of their names, with an exception to the cenotaph of the cynic. Do you place your token inside of this funerary urn?
The person before me did?
Mm-hmm.
Then I do, yes.
Okay. When you place your token inside of the urn, they place their hand inside, and it looks like they turn over a lip, locking a token in place. And then as such, they close the lid of it, and they begin to move it. There is some kind of slight dance of sorts, like they're trying to make sure that this is completely assigned random. After a while, you'll stop hearing your token bounce around on the inside of the urn. They move on to the next person, and when they remove the lid, they place their hand inside, locking you down. Your location has been discussed. After this happens, another 5 or so minutes go by before Seti collects the funerary urn and she begins discussing. She calls out each team by name. This time it cannot be heard by everyone, only the few that are on stage.
Thank God.
She pauses briefly at the sight of Team Big Donk, and she says that, ushering for you to step forward, or anyone whom that might belong to. Do you move forward, Neferani?
I do.
Okay. When she steps forward, she extends her hand. She wishes for something in hers. You see her eyes traipse down to your hand. Do you place your hand in hers? Do you wait? What do you do?
Has anyone else gone first, and has this been the way of it?
Actually, you are the first. You're the first to be called forward.
Okay.
The very first team.
So then I'm just gonna, I will give her my hand.
Okay. She takes your hand, and she begins to incite more invocations to the Lady of Graves. After she pauses, she turns to you, and her look is very Egyptian, like pseudo-Gothic, right? She wears dark robes, a crocodilian headband across her forehead. Her lips are stained purple, and her eyes are very dark with these tinges of copper. Her skin is very rich and warm, but she has basically an amulet around her neck that shows the head of a crocodile biting down onto an amulet dedicated to Pharasma. She says to you, "Child, you have been given the tomb of a war general. This will be a dangerous place. You may not survive this. And if you wish to leave, and you respect the dead, I will understand and you will not be judged in the eyes of Pharasma." Do you say anything, Neferani?
No, I'm just gonna kind of look at her like, okay.
Your silence is deafening. I know that you have many things on your mind.
We will accept this assignment.
Very well. You be the first to enter the Necropolis. I wish luck upon you and yours. It may be the only thing keeping you alive tonight. Follow the tenets of the Grand Mausoleum, and you just might see tomorrow's sunrise. She hands to you what looks to be the equivalent of an amulet, but it seems very large. It's very bulky in nature. It seems to be an older symbol. Do you have knowledge history?
No, I don't know. I don't have it.
Okay. You do not immediately recognize it.
Okay.
She nods to you. You say anything else before you leave?
Thank you.
There's a small smile that curls up over her face. It's a saddened smile, though. You go on. You return, and as you begin descending down these steps, you find that the people part again, and you are being looked at from a crowd of people that can almost assume that you will die soon. You're stepping into the walls of where boogeymen are made, where monsters are created. Some of them commit to silent invocations. They're praying. You can see it on their face. Their hands are held in ways that make you believe that. Or they hold on to various religious effects to bring them protection. Or maybe bring you protection. Do you return to Abasi, Pilakka, and Donkor?
I do, with my head held high through the crowd. I don't feel as if I am in any danger. Well, even if I am in danger, it doesn't matter because I am literally living my best life at this exact moment.
Right.
This is exactly what she's always wanted to do. So she's just kind of going through the crowd with that thing in her hand like, thank you.
She's probably going to look at somebody like, being like, yep, he ate them.
Exactly. No, right. Maybe more like... She won't. She maybe like a thanks for the prayer, but I appreciate
fucking finger guns. Hey,
I don't actually go full finger gun. She is. I mean, she's taking it seriously, as serious as she can take it. But
Thanks.
Right, it's more like I'm so excited, but I have to not be because a lot of people are looking at me, and I'm a serious adventurer, so. It's kind of like a mixture of like the little kid who's walking through like going up to get an award and they're like
That's perfect. That explains things very, very well.
Thanks for the death warning, but it's adventure time.
Yes, that's accurate. So, I would like to see if Xanjafar wanted to react now, or will you be waiting?
I'm gonna kind of just trail behind, because I'm trying to. I feel like I'm good with people that are, that are, like your gamblers, your connoisseurs of dark things and back alley and misfits. But I want to treat this as professional as possible, because I know that if I fudge it up in any way, that we don't work well together, that it's going to make this harder for me.
Certainly.
Not necessarily like I care what anybody thinks of me, but I want to make this to where I kind of interject smoothly, and then I get it over with and done, and then I can go on with my life.
But how far away are you staying from them?
I want to say, oh God, I don't leave my house much, so I don't know measurements. I want to say a good...
Just wait on. Across the room.
Oh, I 25 feet.
Okay.
Roughly.
All right.
Just enough where I can keep track of them. Because...
3 desk lengths, man. I'm right there.
It's 17 DX racers.
Lord.
I have many measuring. You're in the right place.
I would say about 25 feet is good enough.
Okay.
That I can still see. Now, are any of them wearing bright colored clothing or anything like that, or is it mostly like what is the general consensus of what people are wearing?
Well, I believe the brightest colored clothing was recently taken.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, am I aware, like in the letter that I got, did it say anything beyond it, like their names or
Nope.
The situation? It was just basically go do this.
Yep. Your instructions were to find them, assist them, and make sure they succeed in their endeavor.
Okay.
Sincerely, Aspis Consortium.
Right.
I think based on our images that I can see for our characters, everyone is wearing pretty mute coloring except for my big ass blue headpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is there a way that I can look at their character sheets? Like, where is that?
Negative. You could not see their character sheets.
Or I mean, their like their bio and their actual characters.
I don't think they've actually placed their bio on to their journals yet.
Okay.
They can, but I don't think they have.
Our character icons are in the bottom right hand corner of the actual map we have access to on Roll20. though.
Yes. So bottom
Yeah,
right
mine's
hand
just-
side of your map, you should be there.
Yeah, I see it. So
I just couldn't
zooming in
update
on
mine.
Abasi looks like a kitten with a bow on his neck.
I mean,
okay, you
I
mean the actual character.
could.
Yeah,
Okay. I was looking at the
No,
avatars
our,
on the bottom left.
I think our symbol, like our little avatars in the bottom, are accurate to everybody except for me, and then our
I've got to update.
yeah.
I've got to update Donkor's. I'm actually going to do that right now.
I added a new
Yeah.
image, but
Yes.
I mean, as long as you don't mind, I got it off the internet. Then you can use mine. But if you,
Okay, I see it now.
I'm gonna try to have someone do a real one.
I can swap my image at the bottom to that one. I just need to have that image.
Ko, can you send me your drawing, please?
It should be in your DMs.
Is
No.
it in my DMs? Let's find out. Ko.
Yeah, it is.
Where? Is it in Discord or Twitter?
Twitter.
That makes all the difference. Okay. There it is.
Okay, because mine is just like we're talking about mine is the golden thing. Is that what we're talking about switching?
I've got to. Yeah, I'm gonna get your character as well.
Okay.
Don't worry, chat. I was just also bad mouthing Bubbernaut in his DMs.
DMs, bitch. Check them now. Hurry. This fucker.
Can't be any worse than what's in Blacklight's DMs right now.
Not yet. Not yet. Give me a little bit.
To be fair, I was an hour late. I deserve it.
And
I
Ryu,
found you
can
the nicest tree I could.
Ryu, could you send me yours too? Fresh.
A lot of
ones?
wood.
Yeah, I can find mine.
Send it to me on Discord.
On Discord.
Yes. I'll make this
The
tokens
right
right away.
DM in the wrong place makes all the difference in the world.
You know, you take one letter off of that, and I could completely understand that sentence.
The right M in the wrong place? What are you talking about?
Fucking all those masochists. God.
Lord.
I can get one without the background.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. I'm just gonna use a token puncher if I can find it.
Here, I'll give you that one instead because it has Xavier did it with like a background or some shit. I don't know. There's the PNG.
Thank you.
Donkor.
You guys are you're at a point where you can definitely you can talk amongst yourselves. You can discuss these things until they're finished. It's gonna take some time.
Oh no, we're talking about Discord right now.
Oh, all right.
That was super. That was super. Just like, yeah, just gonna slide the sentence in here.
Ooh.
I just realized where that quote was from, and it was just because it wasn't read with the weird inflection on the word difference. Difference. Anybody? It's Half-Life 2, baby. Sophirian, I got you.
I
got you, man.
Makes
all right.
I've only played it for like an hour.
Yeah, the right man in the wrong place makes all the difference. See, he has that weird like pause in the word difference.
Yeah, it's the entire character of the G-Man. He speeds up and slows down certain words, and it's just like, what the hell?
It's like real creepy and jilted. I love that guy. I was sorry.
Shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply that you have been sleeping on the job.
It's like somebody cut his audio file off at the wrong time. Oh shit, I only have 2 seconds left to finish the sentence.
Like he's getting near the end of his line, and the guy in the recording booth is like, come on, wrap it up.
He's about to get played off in his monitor.
He's having micro strokes all through the recording of the game.
I'm gonna have to play this game.
It's a great game.
Half-Life 2 is awesome, and it still holds up to this day.
I agree. I think the story's still really good. It's just disappointing because it ends on a big cliffhanger, and then there's no 3 ever. They just recently confirmed.
There's also no episode 3 for what's her face.
Yeah, because episode 3 became Half-Life 3 like a long time ago. It was episode 1 and 2, and then they're like, here comes episode 3. Now it's Half-Life 3. Now we just sell games. Go screw yourselves. I think.
That's actually what happened.
I think that was the timeline.
Well, fucking headcanon though. Team Fortress is Half-Life 3.
I think
really bad continuity.
It's really bad because I'm pretty sure it came out before Half-Life episode 2. I'm almost positive. Actually,
they started introducing all these other characters, and bam, it works.
Yeah, there you go.
Every single Steam game is the same universe.
It does make sense. Gordon Freeman shaved his beard and became the medic.
Yeah, and then they fought off zombies, and he died as Bill on a bridge.
Yeah, when he was an old man. Later on down the timeline.
That one I can understand a little bit more. Just putting that out there.
Gordon Freeman becomes Bill.
Yeah,
jaded.
All right, I've got default tokens. We are good now.
Oh, good.
At least I like to think that we are. This might break though.
He's gonna break everything.
I'm waiting for it to just explode.
Okay, yeah, it just stopped working. Great.
Yes.
It just reloaded it. Nice. So let's drop this in here. You might see a gigantic Donkor.
I'm here for.
You've been reading my diary.
Oh, there it is.
Dear diary.
More giant Donkor, please. He puts the D in my encore.
Wow.
Okay.
Every night when I close my eyes.
Lord. Things I didn't expect to hear.
You don't want to know, diary.
You don't want to know, diary.
Dear diary, stop asking questions.
Your diary just, can you stop?
just write in somebody else.
Dear Jared, no. No.
It's just every time I write anything, it just slowly morphs into no.
Sort of erases it.
Dear diary, I don't need to explain myself to a fucking book.
I keep waking up with paper cuts all over me.
Incinerate
Doki
the
Doki
grave.
Literature Club. This dear diary. Here's a poem I wrote today about Donkor.
Some played it.
Xanjafar is a human, and Donkor is a skinwalker. Donkor, do you have low light or
Holy shit,
dark
we
vision?
finally have a human?
What happened?
Oh my
Do you
gosh.
have low light or dark vision?
I should, yes.
The whole party did.
Yeah, I think I put that in the character notes in my character sheet.
I think we
I think
all
Tango were low light.
I think like 2 of us were low light and 3 of us were dark vision. I think is what it was.
Yeah, I have low light and then I have dark vision when I shift.
Yeah, I have low light as well.
Nice. This is
Can't find it.
well. That's
Fucking crummy.
okay. So Xanjafar, you should have control of your token. Donkor, you should have control of your token as well.
Pog.
Okay. Yep, there you go. Now, Xanjafar, in your situation, you're a human. You don't have low light or dark vision, so you are actually going to need to use a torch. And, well, the others don't. They've got special eyes.
Nice.
Yeah.
My brand.
God damn it.
Do I have a torch with me? Okay.
Likely, yes. I mean, you're still currently standing in...
Right.
In
I'm in the light,
Necropolis,
right.
yes.
Okay.
It's like, I'm getting prepped! Just striking his torch right in the middle. Like, what the hell is going on? There's hundreds
like
of
that-
people here.
It's like that kid from Oblivion when you beat the arenas.
Hey, I'm your new best friend. I've got a torch.
Perfect.
Can do nothing.
And dead just immediately. Nobody even killed him. He just fell over.
Truth enough. So, Xanjafar, are you... You said you're staying about 25 feet away. You're going to be watching the situation. Neferani, you reconvene with Abasi, Pilakka, and Donkor. Do you say anything to them? Do you express excitement? What do you do?
Is the crowd still hushed?
They're kind of talking amongst themselves,
Okay, so it's
especially
like a low.
around them. Some of the people
Okay.
kind of fan out away and give you a little more room than you had previously.
Okay. Guys, we're first.
Yes, we are.
First. And we're going, I believe they said it was a war general's tomb.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that
They
sounds
made it
exactly
sound
like
kind
it was the consortium.
Dangerous, but I mean, it was all going to be dangerous, right?
She was up there speaking to you for a very long time. You're sure she only said dangerous?
But I mean, that's the gist of it. I mean, you know, TLDR, like it was, yes.
He's drinking.
I have no reason to disbelieve her.
I mean, that's what she, I mean, it was kind of like, you know, when you're getting like the best thing in your life and it's just like, wah, 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 danger, wah, wah. I mean, that's really what she took out of it. Like war, tomb, danger, good luck. Basically, like that was the feeling that she walked away with.
Neferani, you're going to die. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, tomb!
Adventure. Well, long and the short of it is, I'm in this about as much danger in some war tomb as I am walking around the streets of this god awful city.
I mean, Fire Lady got kidnapped.
Yeah,
He's not going to do anything with her without me. If it came from me dear old dad, it's everything north of here he's looking for.
There's not very much of that though.
Like, you know, I got a lot bouncing around in there at least.
Xanjafar, you see that the camaraderie between this group is certainly beginning. It's budding, right? Like it's growing there. Neferani seems very very happy and light, aloof from the idea of mortality in the situation. She doesn't quite realize what it means yet. She's just super excited. Abasi is probably a bit more of the downtrodden sort. Pilakka, at least this older woman, the crone, seems to be eyeing everyone, basically like hard side-eyeing everyone that she can. And Donkor is currently along for the ride. You could hear their muffled talks from 25 feet away, just because the people are kind of minding their own business, and what they're looking at is, well, suddenly as they begin to move, a potential funerary pyre. They're shifting across a sea of people.
Okay, so how far are we from the entrance to the tomb?
Probably 100 feet.
Okay, so I guess at this point, I've kind of assessed that, you know, they have some type of at least experience with each other, and they've been with each other for a while. There's no large quarrels or anything about going into said mission. I guess at that point, I walk up and I brush into Donkor pretty hard, just to get him to kind of pay attention to me and me get the attention of the group, and then go from there, I guess.
It's got the same strategy as my cat.
Hey, what's you going there?
I see you guys are going into the what was it, the
Necropolis.
Well, I mean, because there's different sections to the Necropolis, right? There's separate tombs.
Nobody is aware except for them where they're going. They do this on purpose.
But I know from the letter which tomb they're going in, correct? Or I just kind of know who to follow and where to go.
You know who to follow. You know that Neferani was listed as a lead.
Okay. So I guess I lean in and introduce myself. I'm Xanjafar Kashkashir. I recently received a letter that you guys needed assistance in whatever mission you guys are taking out to do today.
I don't remember this. Do you remember putting in any letter, request, or anything, friends?
I got a real quick way to find out if he's telling the truth. Who exactly sent you, Mr. Gesundheit?
Fair enough. I was sent this letter early this morning directly from the consortium. I assume that's who you all are working with.
And there's the red flag.
I would see this letter.
When you
Pilakka
say
holds
that,
her hand out.
when you say that out loud, a few faces turn in the crowd, and they look at you. They seem to have picked up, honed in on you loudly speaking about the consortium.
The
Neferani.
Consortium of Man? Oh, I know them. They write really good books. History mostly. Definitely, that's the consortium you're talking about, yeah?
The Arbitorium? We're in a desert.
Are they? Can I roll a perception to see if I notice them?
Yes, you can. And if you're trying to waylay the things that they've heard and what they might be thinking, give me a bluff or a perform.
I'm really just gonna glare at them.
Well, this is mostly for Abasi, Donkor, and Pilakka, because Abasi definitely like hard hit that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh fuck.
Story related. I'm just gonna be like
like a shitty teenager, like,
yeah, like, excuse me, do you have a not your business.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm at the mall. So.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I didn't take anything in perform, and I'm -1 on bluff.
Whereas I have both of those, but I'm not. I'm in a different mental place.
Sure.
Wow.
Hit me with
your best shot.
What is your leading skill?
Blow me away. What's my highest skill that you said I could use? They're both -1.
They're both okay. Then roll either.
Can I craft a way out of this situation? Fuck me.
Oh.
You're like, yeah, consortium of man.
I think wait a minute. I got this fancy little. That's much better.
Did you say you needed a bluff from me as well?
Yeah, if you're going to assist him here.
I re-rolled, by the way.
Yep, Abasi is taking the lead here, and you're kind of following up, Pilakka. So go ahead and give me a bluff break 10. Yeah, you do. So you're going to offer, since you've remember this is my own home rule on this, and you guys should probably know because this hasn't come up in the past. Generally, if you would like to aid another in that situation, it's a declaration in that you say, "I'm going to help. I want to help them. I'm going to offer my skills or my talent to make sure that we have a better chance of succeeding." And generally, you offer them a +2. See, I don't really like it when you just make a declaration and they get a static +2 because it's not really worth shit. +2 is generally not enough to make or break the bank. I make it a little bit more of a gamble. If you are capable of meeting my DC on aid another, which is generally 10, very rarely will it climb to higher than that, you will be able to offer them +4 for their successes. If you fail, however, you hinder them and it makes the DC harder. Well, Pilakka, you've succeeded. You offer +4 to Abasi. It's believable. When you begin talking about the consortium of man, they seem to kind of shake it off and mind their own business. You can tell that a few of them are adventurer types. They brandish the proper weapons on back. Some of them are armored. Most of them are hardened in preparation for what it is to come. You know, not everybody's getting into the Necropolis. Why is everybody armed and armored? It's worthy to note that not all of them are making it into the Necropolis, and all of you are hoping to make it out of the Necropolis. What better way to catch someone than when they are at their weakest? With so many people here in the town, it's going to be hard to sort out your lot. Not really sure what to make of that yet. But Abasi, that kind of falls over the top of you. You realize this as you look upon the audience. Neferani hitting him with that glare, the glower of sorts. Pilakka trying to aid. You realize that if this character, Xanjafar, continues with his sizable voice, he may get you into more trouble than it's worth.
So Donkor is going to take a quick step forward and go to Xanjafar and go,
"You're going to need to keep your voice down."
Understood. I've had quite a bit to drink this morning, and I've been in and out of a few bars. If you would like to step to the side, I can show you my credentials, and if you guys feel that I'm not qualified enough, I can take it back to whomever I received this from.
I don't know if you're trying to sell me a thing or you're trying to open up a shop.
I just like that. You're going to have to keep your voice down, lad. And he's understood. Listen, let's go over here right now. I'll show you my credentials.
You make me sound like Joe Swanson from.
Oh, listen here, Peter.
You sound like Putty, like Lemony Snicket from the Netflix one. You totally do. Look away.
Oh, it's the guy who plays Brock Sampson. What's his name?
He's the flea.
Yeah,
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. You remember him as the flea? My heart. I love it.
Poor little tongue.
Abasi just turns to Pilakka and goes, "I can't believe this shit. They set us a drunk in the middle of all this. If we weren't in the head of our heels already."
What's next? A disgraced paladin?
Hold on, I speak.
Listen here, you 200-pound fucking chicky dippies with fries. All right, why don't you calm it down?
My point is, there are useful people from all walks of life. Do not discount him just yet.
Yeah, well, our tactical nuclear firebomb just disappeared.
The dwarf has a point. We might. If he's legit, I'm pretty much doing the same volume of whisper. If he's legit, then he can maybe help us where she could have until she finds us in the Necropolis.
Balak is also failing to keep her voice down and says, "I say we let him join and try to be of help, and if he's not, we kill him and I'll take his eyes."
Oh, by Magram's goddamn balls. The lot of you are going to make sure that I'm dead before I can walk 100 feet that way. Have you looked around? Have you looked around a little bit at all the people with the shiny weapons and toys that aren't going in there? I wonder what they're about. Oh, that's right. They get to collect dwarf heads and bird eyes.
They're welcome to try. Many have before.
Yeah, well,
I don't think you'd make a very good shield.
Listen,
give him a chance.
I'm not trying to get into any trouble. We need to walk away from here and definitely keep it down. Although it is funny, the chicken bourbon fries, that's good. That's really good.
Honestly, I think she'd be a little delicious with some dipping sauce.
As long as you like your meat aged.
I think she'd be way too gristly.
You should listen to the cat.
Well, I've seen you at 200 pounds. I know exactly how much plump you can be.
The people that are closest to your group are not really sure what to make of the situation, because you're quite literally talking about eating an old woman.
Who is presumably a member of our party.
Yes.
Who also just said she would kill the new man and seal his eyes.
Yeah.
You're also saying that that you know how much she weighs and she's like 200 pounds when she's clearly like frail, thin, like.
We know each other. We're good.
What are you all looking at?
Again, like. You did not receive an invite to this party.
Xanjafar leans to a random person and says, I'm not really with them. This is for money.
This is for money.
This is for money.
Look, Donkor is one of your people. This should work out perfect.
Well, one of my people would be a little bit more discreet.
Oh, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But
Yeah.
look at him right now. He's the version of you that never quite got out of the fraternity.
Can I see this credentials thing that you were talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Way over there first.
Yeah, do you mind stepping to the side, starting to sober up now, talking about eating old women?
You're like, what have I got myself into?
This is great on the barbecue.
So Xanjafar leads them to the side, and then, actually kind of sobers up a little bit now that he realizes these are the right people, and he kind of figures out what's going on. So he, slowly rolls out the message that he received, so that it shows the message, their pictures, and then and the seal from the consortium, just so that in one quick whatever, he doesn't have to have it out for very long. Kappa. So
he gingerly places the seal back together, and you recognize that it is the seal of the consortium. And after reopening this document, you can see that each of your pictures have been scrivened here. Even if crudely, you can still recognize yourselves immediately.
They got my nose wrong.
At least you have a properly sized nose. For me, it's most of my face.
Well, you're right.
I mean, it might also be most of my face.
I'm more just worried about why they sent us a drunk.
Or drawings. Like, why did we all get? Was it that? Did they not think we can do this?
Well, they definitely think that we can do this, because if you haven't noticed, they sent us to where they would keep war diagrams. If there's anybody's doing it, Cyrus.
Oh, as far as I can tell, we already downed one, so perhaps it would be best not to look a gift human in the mouth.
He does have the red, his red hair kind of reminds me of hers.
Well, that was real subtle, by the way. He's a human. Goddamn party.
Pilakka pulls out her locket of hair and starts comparing it to Xanjafar's, like side to side.
Is it close?
It will do.
Well, do you have to have all of us color coded to keep track? Oh, I got a new red one.
We had the short one, the loud one, and the skippy one, and now we have the red one.
So Xanjafar kind of like pulls the scroll back out and looks and double checks that there's not 5 instead of 4, and then he asks, "Was there somebody else that was with you and is no longer with you?"
Actually, I did notice that, and that definitely has 4 people on it. Did they know? I'm a little bit curious if they knew. However, yes, there was one right before you, and she was definitely easier to look at.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's a matter of opinion.
Listen,
Welcome to the team.
I
Fuck
saw
yourself,
yours.
Steve.
I saw your jaw drop once before as well.
Oh, listen, no weirdo in a goddamn second-story building has come to tell me how much he wants to take her away yet. So, you know, he must be doing at least a little bit less than she was.
I've seen better.
The warmest of welcomes.
Abasi grabs his arm and like holds it up slightly and works his arm up and down. And goes, "Man, he's got a decent range of motion despite how round he is."
Want to check my gluteal grasp?
Well, maybe Pilakka check his tongue.
Are
See if
you
he's
gonna
got
check his
anything.
teeth too? Like, this is not what we do to prospective friends.
Well,
He's drunk. He's not going to remember this.
well, he did say he was sobering up, but I did refer to you as the small one and him as the depressed dwarf once before, so I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but I'm his small one, but she's your small one. Who's the small one? That is all too confusing for me.
Xanjafar, you can't quite shake that you see no immediate chance of success in this party.
I was just getting ready to say.
I feel personally attacked here.
That the chances of you succeeding are going to be very difficult. While they may appear to be incredibly friendly with each other, they seem to lack many of the social pleasantries of many of the natives to this area. They have certainly judged you, thoroughly so. What do you do?
And found wanted.
Yes. Do you
Not as beautiful as Jamara.
do you find yourself in a situation where you're going to offer them your continued services, or do you see yourself trying to stay to the back, making sure that they check every door or investigate every sarcophagus?
I would kind of like to see I would kind of like to see their first interaction, because like it's one thing, like Xanjafar knows that there's one thing with your people skills, but there's also another level of dungeoneering skills.
Yeah, it's your game face.
So I would like to at least kind of let them size me up and do what they will with examining my credentials, whatever.
Okay.
But I do want to sit back and kind of like see how they approach situations from the back of the group. So I kind of keep to myself. I don't really chime in or grab anybody's butt or anything.
All right.
Not yet, at least.
Seems good. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to take our break. We're going to step away for about 5 minutes. When we come back, we're actually going to be entering into our tried and true dungeon delve. It's going to be our first experience doing this, and you guys will get an entirely different map. So, hang on to your butts, guys. We'll be back shortly. Go grab some popcorn. Get some snacks. Take a bio break, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Okay? All right. See you on the other side.